Hello everyone, welcome back to another Color With Me video. It has been a minute since I've been doing these all over my winter break, and I am currently back, moved into my dorm. Tomorrow starts the new semester for me. It's been kind of a crazy winter break. I was hoping for some more downtime to kind of work on these videos, but nonetheless, life had other plans, but it's okay. We're back rocking and rolling. I'm excited to keep coloring and making more videos. I'm showing you kind of my new little marker setup I have here. I just kind of had them in like a random container, but I ordered one of these marker containers and I'm obsessed because now they all stand in a nice little container. Today's coloring page, I kind of wanted to be inspired by the color scheme from this page that I had done in a different coloring book before. So I'm going in with these similar colors that I did. I have shade 1, 34, 35 from the Smart Art markers, and then shade 10 and 93 from the Master's Touch alcohol markers. Kind of the same spiel I say in all my videos. I have two brands of alcohol markers that I use for these coloring pages because it's what I have on hand, so those are the markers that I will be using for this page as well. So I'm going in and just kind of coloring a majority of the scene here in this color palette. I really liked how that other page that I showed before looked, and so I kind of wanted to replicate that same kind of vibe with more of the cool tone shades. So yeah, so I went and colored in the background like window pane in the brown shade. I also brought in this shade of green, shade 43 from the Master's Touch, and I colored the back curtains in this color. I colored the main tablecloth in that dark green color, and then I'll be going in with the other like yellow and red and the darker red to kind of color the rest of the accents and objects on the table. So I colored the polka dots on the curtains in this red color. I thought it was very Christmassy. I kind of, after I was like finished coloring this page, I realized this might not be like a Christmas page, but more of a Thanksgiving, but that's okay. And then I'm going in with a blue gray. This is BG5 in the Smart Art markers, and coloring in some of the pots and pans and other silverware on this page. I'm now going in with warm gray 1 from the Master's Touch markers and coloring some of the things that I kind of wanted white, but the things that I want white on my coloring pages, I still go in with a very light gray alcohol marker just to kind of give the shadows so that it's not just left completely bare. And now I go in with shade 102. This is a more of a warmer brown color, and I'm coloring the turkey in the center of the page. And then also some of the, I think it's Grabie in this little pot there. And then I go in shade 107 to color the loaf of bread here. And later on, I'm going in with colored pencils, so I'm not doing any shading with alcohol markers at this point, and we'll be adding all of the shading later in with some of the colored pencils. So just kind of providing a base layer of alcohol markers for the page first. I also colored this pie in the same sand color. And now I'm using shade 42, and then also shade CG 0.5 and CG3 to color the background outside. I wanted to make it nighttime, so I went in with that dark navy blue for the sky and then the two gray colors for the snow. To make it look a little bit more like snow instead of just coloring it all one shade, I'm going with the stippling effect, first layering down the lightest gray shade and then going over top of that with the darker cool gray shade, just kind of over all the tops of it, not the whole thing, and then I go back in with the lighter gray shade over top of all of that just to kind of blend it, make it more seamless as much as possible. And I'm going in with shade 96, and I'm starting to color the characters in the scene. So I colored this little bear with this brown shade. I just colored it the same brown shade. And then I go in with shade 43 and 135 from the Master's Touch alcohol markers and color the frog. I'm trying to keep the colors pretty simple for the most part for these characters, since there is a lot going on in the rest of the scene. And then next I'm going in with shade 35, shade 10, shade 135, and warm gray 5 to color in the mouse of the page. I like to make the inner ears of the mouse that I've colored on this page and other pages before pink, and sometimes they don't add in like that line that kind of separates the ear, which is totally fine. I just go in and add it myself with a fine liner. Now I'm going in and coloring our last character here, so I'm going in with shade 34, 38, warm gray 1, and shade 54. I wanted the hat here to kind of, again, have that white kind of effect, fluffy, so I went in with that light gray, the warm gray, to give it that fluffy effect. And now I'm bringing in my colored pencils here. I can't really remember all of the shades that I use for the colored pencils. There's kind of a lot, but essentially I'm just went in on my little color chart that I made myself and found the colors that matched the alcohol markers the best. I don't want to go too light. It can be scary to like pick out like a super dark shade to start shadowing, but the nice thing with colored pencils is that you can go as light as you want to and always layer them up. So I just went in with dark shades of all of the colors. So I started with kind of in the order that I colored the alcohol markers in. So I went in with a dark green, a dark red, a dark yellow, and there's one that I'm forgetting. But yes, essentially just going in with really dark shades of the alcohol markers in the colored pencils, if that makes sense. And this is kind of where everything kind of comes together and comes to life. And I really like, my favorite part is like these curtains. They just look, I don't know what the word is, but I really like how these turned out. So going in with all my colored pencils, it's a little bit of a tedious task. The alcohol marker coloring goes by super quick, especially when I'm not doing any shadows or any effects with them, and so that goes by super quick. But the colored pencil is a little tedious, but I think it is worth it, especially if you don't want something super harsh like in the shadows, like the alcohol markers can kind of be. Even though I think it looks great, if that's not the vibe you're going for, I think colored pencils on top of alcohol markers just makes everything a little bit more warm and soft, and I really like that, especially in a page like this when the scene is already just a warm scene. We've got a nice Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner here, and I just like the way the colored pencils turned out on this page. I also went in over top of some of the backgrounds, like the sky, I didn't really do shadows on this, but I did go over top with colored pencil just to smooth everything out. And then I also went over the snow. This is the one like effect that I did with alcohol markers, but I went over colored pencil with a light gray and kind of just did like circular motions over top of the whole thing to make it look more like fluffy snow. And then of course, the last step in making these pages come together is adding the white highlights. I honestly was debating adding in the white highlights kind of at first because I was like, with the alcohol, or not the alcohol marker, the paint marker, because everything was super soft and warm, and I was gonna try to maybe do like a colored pencil, a white colored pencil highlight, but ultimately I decided to go in with the acrylic marker. This is the Grabie acrylic marker with my white highlights, and I am glad I made that decision because I really liked how this turned out. This is the final product of this page. I just used alcohol markers, colored pencil, and a white acrylic marker to create this page, and I think this is absolutely stunning. It's super warm, super soft, and overall just a fun scene going on here. I also wanted to take some time to let you all know that if you like and subscribe this video, it would be so much appreciated. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you all have a wonderful day.